Okay, today we are going to see Angular video 2, that is Angular video 2. Today, what are the things that we are going to see? I think so on the day I showed you this website. I don't know whether you people have gone through all the content related to this, and we are going to complete all this content today. So which around 20% or 30% will be completed. Tomorrow morning, we are going to see routing and forms. So after that, a component to component interaction. So that's the third one. After that, we are going to integrate our Angular with the Spring, which we will complete by tomorrow. I will give all the videos. Tomorrow morning, we will take around 2 or 3 concepts, and the remaining I will give video so that you will get an idea about Angular. So after that, Spring MVC and MongoDB, which we will work on Monday. So probably we should be able to complete on Monday or Tuesday. So after that, no, probably you people will know where you are. And so if you have anything, then I can help. So parallelly, we will start attending interview. I can also project your profile. And these people know Java FSD. So if it is Java FSD, at least you should have some minimum knowledge on Angular, Bootstrap, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, plus JPA, Java, and Spring. So that's a main idea. So we will see. So anyway, all the videos will be given. Monday will be the last day. So maybe 1 or 2 videos I may give on Tuesday. So related to MongoDB and something. So that's anyway, we are going to complete on Monday. So at the maximum, MongoDB may be on Tuesday. That's it. Okay. So now you know what is an Angular. So Angular is a view layer. Mainly, we are going to create the view layer of the application by using Angular. Before that, it was done by using JSP, combination of HTML and JSP. Now that is more to view layer technologies like Angular or React. So on the day, we saw how to install Node.js. You might know now install Node.js, Visual Studio Code. I think so you all installed. See what is the Node version, what is NPM, Node Package Manager. You might have read something related. So only you should start reading it, you will get all the things. Then you are going to use Angular CLI tool. So this will help us to create Angular component service related to this. Anyway, you might have people have some knowledge on this one. This is create Angular sample application. How will you create ng new any name? So this is going to be the project name. So Node.js server. So how to start the server? Ng server. So now what does it will do? You are going to give the ng server this command from the project folder. From the that is this folder. Here you need to give ng server. So ng serv. So you should be on the project folder, not as in some other folder. HRMS app is our project, right? So when I give ng serv, then it will deploy this application into Node, this HRMS application, right? So HRMS application, when you see here, content, right? This is a content. Angular proj. So this is application. So go inside this one and give the command. So when you give the command, there are a lot of the files are there. So it will start. So now ng serv generating browser application bundle phase. So now our server is started and it is listening on 4200. So let me go to my browser. Now what we done, we started our server and deployed our project to the Node.js 4200. Localhost. See, so we got, you know now how does you get this particular display on the day we created. So what we done, then we created. So here in Angular, all the things are component. So in JSP, we saw in JSP servlet, JSP, we wrote something. And the servlet also so now here it's combination of component and HTML template. So if I say Angular component, it has a class and a HTML template and metadata. So this is the explanation that is given here, right? When you read that Angular component. What is Angular component? See Angular component. HTML template, component class, and component metadata. Already we saw here. Let me show here. This is the component, right? App component. There is a component employee TS, employee component. So what is the explanation? HTML template, component class, and component metadata. Okay, see, these are all metadata at the component. This is the metadata. You are mentioning metadata, and you are specifying what is the HTML that you are using. So HTML you are using, and the component class. So this is 3. 1. This one is metadata. 2. And this is HTML template. So if we say Angular component, then it is combination of HTML template, component class, and component metadata. Okay, HTML template is nothing but a regular HTML code with additional specific syntax to communicate with the component class. So your HTML, from where your HTML will get data? From where? This is an HTML, right? From where your HTML, this HTML will always get data from the component class. Here we give 12, right? So your template will get all the data from the component class. So if it's a Angular component, it is nothing but one component class. If you say Angular component is nothing but it is one class. See what is export, you will understand. Metadata, add to component, and HTML. Okay, CSS may be there, but see this, you can write the CSS file here. What are the CSS that you want, you can write here so that it will append to that one. So now you got an idea about what is Angular component. Any doubt on this one? Metadata. Metadata is some extra data for the component used by Angular API to execute the component, such as location of HTML, CSS file, selector, provider, etc., which we are going to see. Generate Angular component. How will you generate Angular component? Ng generate component and component name space any name. So we also created yesterday. We created a component called employee. So we created one component. Okay. So now you got an idea about what is component, Angular component, naming convention. Just you can read this one. So this is the same thing. We need to import in Java. We import, right? Same way from this package, we are importing component and on init import. So because we are using, see here, we are using on init. There is on init here, and we are using component here. So you need to import. So this is a package at Angular code. Where does it, this one, all these things? All these are under node module. Node module. When you expand this one, see here, you have all the things. There you have jar file lib. In Java, you have lib folder. Inside that, you add all the jar file. Here, we are adding it into node modules. Okay. Okay, now, so now you got some idea about what is Angular component. See here, you can read all the things. Much more detailed explanation are given here. So what is this one? If you want to use this component, if you want to use any Angular component is nothing but combination of HTML, class, and metadata. If you want to use this, how we used it? We should use this tag. This tag can be anything. Whatever this is the tag name. In HTML, we have paragraph tag, anchor tag, a number of tag, div tag. Same way here, we are creating our own tag. So it can be, right? It can be anything. Whatever you are going to use, if you want to use it, I also used it. So in index.html, I use app root. So where is app root? So maybe it is referring to one component. In that component, there is a figure, right? What is the component? This one, app root. So it has an HTML, and this is the component class, and there is only one variable particular. So we created another one. If we want to use this one in HTML, we want to use employee. So I just used this one. See, app employee. So now you got an idea. So now when you run for with the port, first it will come to main.ts. I think so. You people might have read. There are a lot of things. So here there is a module. So there is a module called app module. See, this is a module app module.ts. In the app module.ts, see here app component, employee component, like package. So in Java there is a package. Here it is module. In Java, there is a package. A package can contain n number of classes. Same way, a module, app module.ts can contain n number of components. So we just declared both the component are part of this module. So app component and employee component is part of module called this one, app module. So now what is module? Module contains like a package. In Java package, it can contain n number of interfaces, classes, anything. Same way here also, a module can contain component, service, directives, n number of things, n number of things. So is there any doubt here? So here there is an import. What are all the other modules that you want to use? That's here. Very important. Module.ts, very important. So this module, in turn using other module. So you need to import imports. Now you know what is ngmodule from here to here. And the first one, declaration, component, and imports all the module, which are all other module that you are going to use in this module. So you need to import. So there is a lot of document. Once you start learning it, this is the bootstrap component. Bootstrap component, the component that will be rendered when you give localhost of 4200 something. So where you are mentioning this is the bootstrap module. So if you go to main.ts, you mention app module is the root module. Bootstrap module. You can have n number of modules. You can have n number of package in a Java project, right? Same way you can have n number of module in your Angular project. So Angular project can contain n number of module, and each module can contain n number of component. Any doubt? Angular project can contain n number of module. So here we wrote only one module, and in that module we created two components. You can create a 10 module. Each module can have 3 component, 5 component, and component. So in Java, you can create a number of packages. Each package can have other classes. Same way here. So you should know what is module, what is component, what is main.ts, index.html, how to invoke a component from some other HTML. So this is how you have to use. From any HTML, you can call any other component. So HTML will get all the value from the class. From the class, a component is nothing but combination of metadata, Angular component, and Angular class. I think so. People got some idea. If you now read this one, you will get all the idea. Class component, component class, component metadata. That component is a decorator used to specify the metadata for the. So you have to keep on learn. So here is a constructor in Java. There is a constructor. This is a lifecycle method, ngInit, which you will see lifecycle method, ngInit, because we implemented on init lifecycle method. Servlet has a lifecycle. What is the lifecycle of a servlet? Init, service, and destroy, 3 methods are there, right? Same way. Here there is a method called greet, and return type is void. Since it's an Microsoft-based language, so it will be opposite. So in Java, you declare the return type, then method name. Here method name, then return type. So all opposite. Greeting.component.ts. So here .html. So TS in TS. Okay, this is an HTML bootstrap component. Read this. Probably you will get an idea about all these things. So now you learned, yesterday we learned little bit. There is a string which I declared here. So this one, if you want to read from the HTML, then you can use either interpolation or two-way data binding. Two things. This is the component, right? You can read all the value from this component using HTML. From the HTML. Yesterday also we saw. Yesterday also we have employee component. See here I declared one variable. What is the variable name? Available government holiday 12. So now from this HTML I can read this one. How to read? Either you can use interpolation or data binding. This one. Two-way data binding, or you can use interpolation. Interpolation is one way, whereas this is two-way. This is two way. You will understand what is the first one. We'll see interpolation. See what is interpolation. Interpolation is used for one-way data binding in Angular. It embed an expression into the HTML template. By default, expression should be surrounded by double curly bracket. This expression is this one. Like this, if you have an HTML, it will see whether there is any variable called expression and it will read the value. See here, this is HTML, paragraph, text. Is there anything called text here? Yeah, text is here. This is a data type. Hello will be displayed. Caption. So as it is, same thing we done. Button, inner text equal to caption. So here, if you see, okay, so we'll see one by one here. You see here, this is a variable and employee.component.html can be mail. This name can be anything, but to be meaningful, always make component name, then component.html. That's the right thing. So here I am opening this one. See here, I use interpolation. This is HTML. This HTML is associated with a component. Then you need to see the component there. This is the component, and this component, this class is associated with this HTML, and this is the tag name. I think it's all are having some clear idea about this one. Okay, so that's how I could be able to read the value of this 12 and display it here. Display it here. Let me declare another one variable. How to declare an array? So how to declare an array? See, product list, random numbers. This is a random numbers, right? Random numbers equal to number array. Okay, here maybe string is here. Product list. So I'm declaring just to see how to declare. So here it will be different. We are using Angular will be different because it is a Microsoft product. So it will be a little bit different in declaring the variable here and there. So once you see keep on, then you will get the comfortable. Debit card. Here, credit card. Debit card, credit card. Okay, I declared a variable called a product list. I declare a variable called a product list. So here, so random number, right? Random numbers. So here, UI, ng for loop, in Java for loop. So here you can use ng for. So we will see, this is a directives. Maybe we will see, when you see directive, probably you will get it. I will let you know. So you know what is UL and UL, LI, let is a data type. If you have read this, you might understand. Data type, this is a random number that is pointing to the variable and you are going to display. I'm going to display all the product. So where we are going to write this one? I'm going to write this one here. Maybe here. Available products. So available product now it will be, we will get an error. This is the name that we should use it. This one here it can write anything, right? So this is pointing to this. So I'm going to give this one. So now what? This is a for loop. There are a lot of directives available, which I will explain. So when we go here, see here, debit card, credit card, available product. So from HTML, now you know this is data binding, right? What is the interpolation? Interpolation. This one, interpolation. If you read this one, is used to one-way data binding in Angular. It embed the expression in the HTML template by anyway. You can have an idea about this one. So try to have an idea, read this one, probably you'll get it. There are n number of directives, Angular directives, ng for. If you see, I'm going to explain after some time, but anyway, as of now, just also. ANGULAR, Angular, DIRECTI, Angular directives list. Built-in Angular directive list. So here, see here, built-in directives. There are component, attribute directive, structural directive. So here you can see understanding Angular overview, component, template, directive in the directive, built-in directive, attribute directive, structure directive. So here ng class, ng style, ng module, ng class, style, build, see ng for, ng if, ng switch, ng for. So ng for here you have the expression. Use of ng for directive to represent a list of items. How does it work? The string let item of item include Angular to the following. Store each item into items. Each item into items. From items, it will store into item. Each item in the items array in the local looping. So here you have the explanation. And repeating an Angular component, we will leave this one here. So as of now, no need to go too much into this one. Just have a look on these things. Div is a tag, then you can associate. Let item track by item, this one. So this will run, you get output. So what are the directives available if you close this one? If you remove this one, built-in directives, attribute directives, and structural directives. Click attribute directives. This is an attribute directive. This is structural directive, which we'll see. So directives. So you know, overview, component, template, HTML template. This is component, and directives, dependent injection, which you will see next. So before that, there is something called two-way data binding, right? See here, two-way data binding, even binding. See what is two-way data binding. Two-way data binding now, when you change in the HTML, it will send the value to the class. When you change in the class, it will send the value to the HTML. HTML and the class will be on sync at any point of time if you are going to use two-way data binding. That's two-way data binding. Here's the two-way data binding. Here you will learn how to do two-way data binding in Angular. Two-way data binding performs the following action. Set a property of a component class. Listen for DOM event, change event. So, two-way data binding refers to sharing data between component and template. Very important. This is the thing. Interpolation is not a two-way. Only this is here, it is a two-way. So how will you do two-way? By using ngmodule. ngmodule. See here, ngmodule. Now, so now what does it will do, right? So tomorrow we are going to see detail about this one, but as of now we can have an idea. So this is a class. You are creating one class. See, you are creating one class, and then here you are having metadata, and this one is associated with inbuilt template. Inbuilt template. Your HTML can be inbuilt or it can be a separate HTML file. So this is not the right way. It will be having always separate HTML file is the more right. more right thing. Okay, now what does this will do, right? What does when this will create one text box. Text box. Whenever you enter into this one, then it will come to here. Username. And the username will get displayed. So here you can leave, either you can have this one or you can have a getter setter method. So in model, we have getter setter method, right? Same thing. So the only thing that you need to understand is this one will associate our model, that is this one to this one. This and this are linked because you made ng model. Whenever you type here, it will automatically come here. This is going to print from here, right? This is going to print from here. Say, for example, what I'm going to do in order to do this one explanation. So let me create this one user control C. Already I have a class employee. So let me print this one control V. So not username, employee name. Employee name. So here let me make this as instead of username, let me make employee name. So now we will get an error. Now we will get an error. Is there anything called employee name in the component? In this is there anything called employee name here? Nothing. See, you will get an error. See error. So what is the error? Cannot bind to ng model since it is not a known property of input. Ng model employee name. There is nothing called employee name. So what we have to do? So in HTML, you are trying to learn a variable called employee. In employee component, there is nothing. So we need to declare one variable. So we need to declare a variable called employee control C. Okay, I declared one variable, employee name, not username. Employee name. Okay, now we will see what is the output in the HTML. So now what does it will do? Now this entire tag, this tag is associated with which variable in the class? To employee name. So this one is not. Okay, so now let me go here. So what is the problem here? Error. EMPLOYENAME. Did I save it? EMPLOYE. EMPLOYENAME string Ravikumar. So cannot bind ng model since it is not a known property of employee input test ng model BR. Is there any error here? It's the same name. Control C. So what is the error here? There is an error. Okay, so is there any error here? Failed to compile. So sometime if you write and it is not working, so employee name input text employee type event is not assignable to type string error. Cannot bind ng model since it is not a known property of input. Automatically, whenever you change the code, it will redeploy. But here there is a problem. Employee.component.html, employee name, input type equal to text ngmodule. So I think so I corrected here. Input type equal to text ngmodule equal to employee name. Double quotes. So okay, I go here. Here string Ravi Kumar. It is here. Constructor is there. Variable declared. See what is the error? Here you are getting error. Cannot bind ng module since it is not known property of input. Ng module equal to employee name. Okay, here let me go here. Directive two-way data when Angular. Two-way data binding. Okay, here ng, same thing, ng model, double quotes username, and hello here you are giving username. So here input, so here right click input, value equal to username, input equal to username, even dot, how does value equal to. So you can read this one, if you start reading this, you will get it. Creating a custom two-way data binding. Conclusion. So here there is a two-way interpolation binding, event binding, property binding, data binding, ng switch, ng for directory architecture in Java T-point. You get all this. Here app module, component, full name. So here app component, full name, ng module, input. Same thing, right? This one, full name colon string, they declared one variable, and so you can, this can point to that and you can display this one. ng module. Is there any wrong which I did here? Input type equal to text, ng module equal to employee name. Input ng module, maybe this is not an issue. That is not an issue. Full name, employee name is there. Employee name. This one is just to print the value. This one is just to print the value. This is to the employee name entered is employee name. Is because there is an error. So what is the error? Can someone tell? ng module input employee name. So here this is one employee name string Ravi Kumar. So here employee name type equal test employee name slash missing. Failed. So error type event is not assigned to type string. Error. Here type string is not assigned to type. What's the problem here? Answer is export fruit banana through their constant my fruit my string. So here employee name type event. Three unchanged chunks. Maybe Control C. Okay, now let me try to run again. We'll get an error. Okay, this is the error. Cannot buy ngmodule since it is not known property of input. Import a form module in the import declaration class. Let me go to component, import form module, then imports module, right? This is a form module. We are using this form module from where we are in this module. So let me import this module also. So I imported this form module in main.ts, and in the component.ts we don't need. This one no need here. Control S. We'll see whether the problem is solved. See here, now we got the value. So whatever here I'm going to type here, see here it's changed. How come? Whenever you are typing this one go to the class. Whenever you type, here you are displaying right. Whenever I click here something, it will go to the class. Which class? In our case, I'm typing this one in here, but I bind it. I made ng module. So now it is pointing to the employee component class, this one. Okay. So now it will change this value. Whenever you change that, it will change this value. And this one is interpolation. This is separate. This one is interpolation. Whenever there is a change, so it will, our component will re-render. This is just to display. If you remove this, nothing. Okay, now when I type, it will go to class. So if you want to see the result, probably you can do control result. So two-way data binding. Is it two-way data binding? Yeah, it's a two-way data binding. I type in the HTML, it is going to the class. From the class, after that, your HTML also get refreshed. Two-way data binding. Whereas this is now one-way data binding. This is one-way data binding. How will you make two-way data binding? By using ngmodule. That's why when you type here, it is going to the class variable, to this variable. So again, this is one-way data binding. Whenever there is a change, it will display. So now you got an idea about. So what is the thing I done here? I didn't import. That's why. So when I go to module, this is so I'm going to use form module. So I need to import this one. Then the problem is solved. So then the problem is solved. So like this, you should be able to go, and there are a lot of things which you learn. Probably once you have a base understanding, that's why I'm asking to learn all this document. Somewhere you should learn. Now you got an idea, then you start learning it so that your knowledge will get broader. Probably from there you should be independent. Problem solving, learning capability. People only need industry. Industry need that. That's where the scarcity is. So that's why we are going with this approach. Now you got an idea about something you might have got. What is interpolation? What is two-way data binding? So what is HTML template, component, creating Angular application, installing Angular, CLI, all the things. Event binding. You can create a button. So when you click the button in the HTML, it will call the method in the class. So if you want to do this, this is the one, event binding in Angular. Events are handled in Angular using the following syntax. What is the syntax? Target event name, template statement. See, target event name. What is the target? When you click, see here, equal to, which one you want to call? You want to call on show. This button different. Target event, on click, on double click, on mouse over, on mouse move. You can do all these things. So here, what we are going to do, first of all, we will create one method. So they call now above click binding the event to on show statement calls on show method in the component. So what we do, first of all, we will create one method. So I'm going to create one method in here. You know how to declare a variable method. DISPLAY display submit employee or something. So I created one method. Just I want to do an alert. Something. Let it be something. Only thing is, here I created one method. So I can associate to some event from the HTML. From here, when I click, I want to call the. So I will do this one. So this one button, click this one. Template. So what is the method name? Control C. when I click, so when I click this button, show employee detail. Employee detail. So we will see what is, we get display. See here, show employee detail. When I click, see alert, employee detail is shown. So now by using, I can associate an event, click event. When I click this, call this method. Then how will you do? This is how click on click. So there are a lot of other things which you can see. Now you got an idea about how to, what is two-way data binding, what is one-way data binding, and how to associate an event so that when you click an event, it will call the method. This one, right? Event binding. Event binding, I'll handle it in Angular using the following syntax. So this is the one. This is the one. Div on div click this one. When you click div also, it will call this one. When you click the button, it will call this one. You can do this thing. Try to learn this one. On show event any. So probably only when you start learning this, you will get. This is an official document. But now no need to go. Once we complete tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you can start learning this step by step where you get all the things. So it may take time, but now you got an idea. It will take time. If you to start to learn you on your own, it will take a lot of time. So probably you will get an idea. Now, this is one of the simplest one. So where you try to learn what is Angular component, what is main.ts, what is module, what is Angular component, class, metadata, interpolation, two-way binding, event binding, HTML template. You got some idea. Get flexible on all these things. Very, very important. So put a lot of effort, try to understand all these things. Come to up to this level. Tomorrow we are going to see two important concepts. One is routing and another is form creation, submission. So after that, before that, we need to run component to component interaction. Maybe we can see after that one. After that, there is another one concept. Anyway, tomorrow you will get all the things. So I will give you the video also. Tomorrow morning we will see 1 or 2 class. After that, I will give all the video. You will get an idea. You can send the information from Angular form to backend Spring Boot. Tomorrow you are going to see that one. So learn all these things, event binding, interpolation. So this is an official document. You should have an idea about all these things. So as of now, you can go through this. Tomorrow we'll see forms, then component to component interaction, then routing. Then you will get some minimum idea. So after that, we will do one CRUD operation. You will get an information. So I think so. You people are learning, looking into this one. So try to get comfortable with these things. Also go and try to learn. So this and all I read on my own. Only when you start reading on your own, then you will get enough knowledge. So you will get that confidence. Maybe initially, maybe, but so now you should be in a position to go and learn on your own. So before that, complete HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JSP servlet, very important. JSP servlet, whatever the link that I gave already, all go through that. The simple, maybe the previous team, even they have done one CRUD operation by using JSP, they might have some knowledge. So people after join, no, just to go through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, very important with the JSP and servlet. So anyway, we'll see. So any other question that you want to ask today?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, actually yesterday you told Node.js is also read, but actually I saw Node.js. I can't understand the concepts of Node.js. But Angular, I understand yesterday also the content, actually what you are told today. But
Okay.
that is understandable. But Node.js is...
No need. So now we are not, we are using backend as Java. So we are not using backend as Node.js. So no need to go, just have some basic idea whichever. We are not Node.js programmer. We are a Java full stack developer programmer. So it means we won't code by using Node.js. Angular deployment, we are using Node.js.
Okay, sir.
So just to go through this one, and after that, so tomorrow there are 3-4 concepts. Once you learn that, probably you will have an idea, and after that you can do self-learning. A lot of things you can do. So any other question that you? So here, see here, same way, all are different. Microsoft product, right? They will declare the type, and before that they will declare the variable. Actually, in Java we type string event. Here the event string, like this. It will be opposite. Learn TypeScript language, you will understand. So how will you understand first? TypeScript, TY. TypeScript tutorial. So we are using TypeScript language. So you can learn this one or anything from anywhere. You can learn this one or this one. So here, this no need to go and learn completely. Try to have some basic idea. Tutorial point. Operator, variable declaration. See here, variable declaration. See how they declare variable. String name. It will be opposite. So same way, operator, decision, loop, function, number. See what is number, string, array, tuple, interface, class, object, module. See what is module, JavaScript module. Yeah, module is designed with an idea to organize code written in TypeScript. Modules are broadly divided into internal module and external module. So here internal module, export a namespace, external module. Try to learn a little bit, no need to go into depth. Try to learn. So this language is very important. First learn this one, and after that, this one you can go this one. So tomorrow we will see another 3 or 4 concepts where you will get more knowledge. So any other question that you want to ask now? Tomorrow we'll meet 10 o'clock. So certainly there will be at 10 o'clock. There will be 2 important concepts we are going to see. One is routing, and another one is form. So that's 2 things morning. And afternoon, we will try to see component to component interaction and sending information from Angular to Spring Boot application. So up to that, we will complete tomorrow. So any other question now? Okay, if there is no question, probably I will share this video in another 1 hour or 2 hours and go through and try to practice, learn here and there. You will get all the things. You will see. Okay. So, okay, thanks for your time.